All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, December 26th, 2023, and of course, we just finished with the Christmas day. Christmas, of course, so Merry Christmas, Merry late Christmas, Happy Holidays, and everything like that. And of course, we just finished with Week 16 of the NFL, so it's only natural. It's only the next right step. It's only, what do you do after 16? You go to Week 17. 2 weeks left, a very sad thing, but, it's how it goes. We're moving right along. We had a bad week. We'll go over our pick'em record. We win 8-8. We're in kind of a slump, so hopefully we can break out of it this week, have a good week, and end the season on kind of a strong note. But before we jump right into the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and make sure you leave your comments with your picks down below, who you got winning, who you got losing, what your picks record is last week, this week, overall. It's just to see how we're doing, to see who's picking better this year, all the fun stuff and all that. I like to see what you guys are thinking about the video, about everything like that. I reply to all comments, or at least I try to anyway. That's it. That's just the YouTube stuff we get out of the way. All that stuff helps the video out. So, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 blah. Pick'em record, like we said, we're 8-8 last week. I think that puts us at 146-86. We're in a slump. We're just doing bad lately. We're 144-96. Not the greatest record at all. We're staring down 100 losses this year, but it just, I don't know. The last few weeks, man, we've just not been seeing it good since week 14. Let's see if we can turn it around. Anyway, let's jump right into it. Thursday night football, we have a decent little game in the Jets taking on the Browns. The Browns are 7-point favorites with an over-under at 35.5. The Jets are coming off a 30-28 win over the Commanders. That was a pretty good game. They came back. They won. They led most of the game. Commanders had a comeback, and then the Jets ended up winning on a field goal, like a late field goal, maybe late touchdown. Either way, they wound up winning with some kind of late score. And then the Browns won their game 36-22 versus the Texans. Handled their business, did their thing, improved to 10-5. Essentially, I like the Browns to win this game because, again, the Jets, as good as they did play against the Commanders, the Browns have an infinitely better defense than the Commanders do this year. The Browns have something to play for. The Commanders may be tanking. There's all these factors that go into this game where it's all right, so the Jets aren't playing a team that's probably tanking with a bad defense, with a kind of a bad offense as well that can't really do much. Now it's the Browns going up against a team that doesn't really have much to play for. Not the greatest offense, especially up against their defense. And their defense, while it's very good, the Jets defense, the Commanders did just put up 28 points. So a Browns offense that's kind of been clicking lately with Joe Flacco might have something up their sleeve for this Jets team on the offensive side. Again, I think this is going to be a defensively dominated game. I like the Browns in the game because, again, I trust the Browns offense a little bit more. They have a little bit better of an offense. So with these two great defenses, you have to kind of go, well, what can I look at? Well, you can look at coaching, Browns advantage, and then you can look at the offenses, Browns advantage. Breece Hall could have another monster game though, but I don't know. I don't know up against the Browns defense. So give me the Browns to improve to 11-5. Saturday night football, we have one game. It's going to be a very good one in the Detroit Lions taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by quite a bit, by 6, with an over-under of 53.5. Cowboys are coming off a tough loss to the Dolphins, 22-20. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They're going to hope to end that. And I think if they win this game, they go 8-0 at home. So they have a very long home winning streak. They've been unstoppable at home. So Detroit has their hands full. Detroit, actually, congratulations to the Lions. They just won their division for the first time ever. They won the NFC Central, but they've never won the NFC North. So congrats to them. First time winning a division in 30 years in general. Did it against the Vikings, so that was a good win. Typical problems for the Lions. Their defense is going to give up some points to the Cowboys. That's why I have it at a 31-28 thing. Basically, I see the Cowboys being able to score at will in this game, but I do see the Lions being able to kind of utilize what I find to be a weakness in the Cowboys defense, at least the last few weeks, is the Cowboys seem to not do well against the run, or like a team that can really run the ball, like the team that beat them, the Bills. The Bills ran for 200 yards on them, and then the Dolphins ran the ball very well on them. And now we can look at the Lions, and if they decide that, okay, we're not going to let the Lions run the ball, they have the kind of throwing offense like the Dolphins do, where it's you can stack the box against the Lions, but now they can throw the shit out of the ball. And again, the Lions have a much better line than the Bills and Dolphins. So That's going to really help out the Lions run game against the Cowboys defense. That it's really only Achilles heel, as it seems like it can't stop the run. Maybe that's just a road feature and they're very good at home. But I do like the Lions to win this game, utilizing their run and kind of complicating things with their offense, utilizing their defense that has kind of a new look to it. And again, I think I would be far more confident if I knew CJ Gardner-Johnson was playing. But with the emergence of Ifewanu or Iffy in the Lions secondary, I think that's a big deal. So I'll take the Lions. Should be a good game. Again, the Cowboys offense is going to score and probably at will, but I think the Lions will as well. So we get into a mini shootout situation, and I just kind of trust the Lions offense with the run game a little bit more. All right, let's go into the Sunday games. We have 10 1 o'clock games to go over. There's a lot of them. It's like the majority of the games are at Sunday 1 p.m. And one of the best games of the week, probably the game of the week, is the Dolphins and the Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 47. I believe if Baltimore wins, they lock up the 1 seed. It's just one of them things where it's like they win this, they clinch the 1. So this is basically going to feel like a pretty big playoff game. Both teams are coming off a win. We know the Dolphins, and then the Ravens just crushed the 49ers pretty badly, 33-19. Ravens are favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 47. So I look at this game and I wonder who's going to win. You have two good offenses. You've got two defenses that can play. The Ravens obviously have a much better defense. The Dolphins have a hit and miss kind of streaky defense. They can play, but they sometimes don't. Ultimately, though, I think this game is going to be very similar to the games that the 49ers had against the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. And I only say that because the Dolphins and the 49ers have very, very similar offenses. And that's only natural as, Mike McDaniel is like the protege of Kyle Shanahan. So again, they have very similar ideas about how to scheme their offenses, how to set up the run, how to use the run to set the pass up, how to use the pass to set up the run, with delayed runs and all that, motion and all of those complex things. The Dolphins do it almost similarly to what the 49ers do, maybe to a lesser degree, maybe to a little bit, maybe lesser, maybe to a different degree. Because again, they're slightly different guys, with Shanahan having, I don't know, way more experience, and that's irrelevant. But, again, so I could see the Ravens, who've already just played the 49ers and showed they can play against those kind of Kyle Shanahan offenses, those kind of gadgety, kind of tricky to read, kind of hard to stop. The offenses that the 49ers and Dolphins run, those are tricky, motion-based, really deceptive, really run-heavy, kind of, play action heavy. And I think the Ravens respond very well to those defenses based on what we just seen from the Ravens, based on what we've seen them do to the 49ers. And then what we've seen the Browns also do to the 49ers earlier this year, and the Browns who play almost the same defense as the Ravens. So you know what I mean? It's these two things where it's I'm pretty sure the Ravens are just going to rerun their game plan that they did against the 49ers. So I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one, 24-21. Kudos to the Dolphins for beating a playoff team last week, though. Well, the Bills will probably get their revenge here. The New England Patriots head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills are 11.5 point favorites with an over-under of 40.5. The Patriots somehow beat the Broncos 26-23. I was just as shocked as everyone else. Field goal by Chad Ryland. Hilarious win. Probably ruined the Broncos season. And then we have the Buffalo Bills. They won their game 24-22 against the Chargers. Probably a little closer than it should have been. But again, interim coach magic. Kind of hard to figure out. Yeah. I got the Bills winning. Ultimately, I do think the Patriots, as good as they have been on defense, I think a bunch of guys got hurt again, so I'm not really sure who's going to be available, who's going to be able to play. We're getting pretty down to our skibbies. Plus, we beat the Bills earlier this year, so they're going to want revenge. We'll take a split. I don't know. Bills should win this game. It'd be very, very funny if the Patriots defense wins them another game, though, especially because it would really hurt Buffalo's season. I really want us to win this game, but ultimately, I think Allen clutches up. An important game for the playoffs because the Falcons are involved. The Atlanta Falcons take on the Chicago Bears. Bears are 3-point favorites with an over-under of 37. The Falcons actually destroyed the Colts 29-10. And the Bears won 27-16 against the Cardinals. Excuse me, I had to get a drink of water. But yeah, regarding this game, I think, okay, so this is how I'm looking at this game. The Falcons looked pretty good against the Colts. I'm not really sure what happened or how that happened, but it was really funny. Excuse me. I do think, though, in this game, the X factor is going to be the Chicago Bears defense. I think the Bears have been playing very, very good defense the last few weeks. Pretty much ever since they got, who'd they get? Did they get Roquan Smith, or did they get the, yeah, they got Roquan from the Fort. No. Who'd they? Hold on. Montez Sweat is who they picked up. Ever since they picked up Sweat, things have been very different for the Bears. They seem like an entirely different defense. So I do think that the Bears defense will completely overwhelm this Falcons offense that kind of relies on the run, a very streaky, inconsistent pass game that you can't really count on. And the Bears offense has actually started to look pretty good lately too. So I kind of like that against the Falcons defense that isn't the greatest, very streaky and inconsistent like their passing game. So I think the Bears get in there, shut down their offense, do what they have been doing pretty consistently on offense the last couple weeks, and win the game. I'll go with the Bears. The Tennessee Titans take on the Houston. Tennessee Titans take on the. I thought I mixed those names up. The Titans play the Texans. Texans are 3.5-point favorites with an over/under of 42.5. I may revisit this game because I don't know if Stroud's playing, and he should. I'm assuming he's going to now because it's been a couple weeks. The Titans are coming off a tough loss to the Seahawks, 20-17, and the Texans got beat up 36-22, like we talked about earlier. Excuse me. But yeah, the Titans' offense has just been kind of bad. Like they probably should have been able to win that game versus the Seahawks. They just couldn't really generate any offense. They can't really throw the ball consistently. They can't really run the ball consistently. Seems like Derrick Henry's past his good playing days. I could see Houston going, especially if they have Stroud back, I could see them winning this game. Just doing enough on defense to kind of hold off what is a mediocre Titans offense, and then doing enough on offense to score against not the greatest Titans defense. I don't know. I like the Texans to get to win this game. Get more revenge for the Oilers jerseys, right? All right. The Las Vegas Raiders take on the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 3 with an over/under of 44.5. Raiders coming off an upset of the Chiefs, 20-14. Their defense has been unbelievable since they fired Josh McDaniels, and the Colts just lost, as we said, 29-10. Basically, I think the Raiders, I'm going to give them a little respect here. I think they've been playing very, very good defense to the point where I think they'll win this game with like a defensive touchdown or two like they did against the Chiefs. Kind of just go into Indianapolis, kind of maybe even hurt their season a bit by winning and help themselves out. Hey, look at that. They could be 8-8 in the wild card all of a sudden. So this is a big game for them. I think their defense is going to win this game pretty much outright, shut down Gardner Minshew and this kind of Colts offense that they have good weeks, but then they have really bad weeks. And I think the Raiders are a type of defense, especially right now, that will give the Colts a really bad week. Will they be able to kind of like stick around? Yeah, sure, because it seems like the Raiders playing a bunch of close games. But I think because of the Raiders' defense and because of the fact that their offense seems to be able to put games away at the end of games, they seem to be able to kind of just do that. And I don't think the Colts have nearly as good a defense as the Chiefs do this year. So I could see them being able to actually kind of run the ball on the Colts. With Zamir White and everything, and kind of killing the clock and using their defense to win alongside maybe a defensive touchdown or two. I like the Raiders in this one. Let's go to the next games. What we got? Oh, I don't give a shit about this. The Carolina Panthers take on the Jaguars. Jags are 7-point favorites with an over/under of 38.5. Carolina almost beat the Packers, which is funny. And the Jaguars lost to the Bucs in big fashion, 30-12. Jaguars will win this game, but boy, oh boy, would it be funny if Trevor Lawrence lost to the Panthers. I think he's starting. Even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't start, the Panthers shouldn't win this game. They're a bad football team. They should have won last week. They should have like 4 or 5 wins right now, but the Los Angeles Rams take on the New York Giants. Rams are 6.5-point favorites with an over/under of 42. Duh, I can talk. Yeah, Rams are 8-7, Giants 5-10. Rams need this win to kind of stay alive in the NFC playoffs, keep their spot in there, because right now they're the 7th seed, or the 6th seed, so things are looking pretty good. They're coming off a win, and the Giants are coming off a tough loss to the Eagles, 33-25. I don't know, looking at this game, basically, Giants defense is pretty good this year. It's been pretty consistently good, but it seems like the last few weeks they've been kind of spotty, hit and miss. You can kind of score on them. And the Rams right now are playing white hot football with Nakua, with Kupp, with Kyron Williams, with Stafford. They all seem to be coming into their own right now in the season, and they because they're all healthy, they're getting their chemistry down. Things are kind of at their apex for them almost. You know what I mean? Like, they all have only been healthy for a few weeks together. So it's like now that they're starting to get like how they can actually play together down, they're starting to look more and more dangerous every time they play. And I think the Giants, I don't know if they have the defense or if their defense has the stamina left after carrying this team the way that they have, left to win against the offense like the Rams. Plus, I think the Giants might want to lose on purpose. They probably in tank mode. And I think the Rams defense will completely shut down the Giants' mediocre offense. That looks a lot better under Danny DeVito, though. Or Tommy DeVito. The Arizona Cardinals take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are 10.5-point favorites with an over-under of 48. The Cardinals are 3-12, and the Eagles are 11-4. The Eagles finally lost, got back on their winning shit against the Giants, as we just discussed. And the Cardinals lost to the Bears 27-16. Eagles should win this game. I don't know if they're going to win by like some big fashion like that's listed here because, again, they've been playing pretty poorly, but they should be able to beat the Cardinals. The key word is should be able to. The Cardinals might keep it weirdly close because, again, this Eagles defense hasn't been the greatest, and they gave up 25 to the Giants, so maybe division game fluke, but it seems like everybody's kind of playing good football against the Eagles defense. I don't know. Give me the Eagles, though. They should win this game. Oh, the battle for the NFC South. This should be a really good one. The New Orleans Saints take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs are favored by 2.5 with an over-under of 42. The Saints are 7-8. The Bucs are 8-7. The game's in Tampa Bay. we just discussed that the Saints, the Rams beat the Saints 30-22, and the Bucs beat the Jags 30-12. So. But yeah, in this one, I really like the way the Bucs have been playing this year. Their absolute manhandling of the Jaguars really gives me faith. It looks like Baker Mayfield actually is playing good quarterback this year. It's not just like a little weird Baker cycle. Seems like he's found his team. Seems like the offense is clicking with Baker. Seems like their defense is playing really, really good right now. And I expect that defense to play very good against the Saints offense that is very beatable. That is nowhere near as good as the Jaguars offense can be and is capable of being. And we've seen what the Tampa Bay can do to an offense that's supposed to be good. Now, I know the Saints have like pretty good luck against Tampa Bay. They have like this weird spell. But one has to wonder if that was more like in the Drew Brees, Sean Payton era. And now that that's over with and we're in the Baker Mayfield era, that doesn't count. So I don't know. I like the Bucs to win this game and basically secure themselves the NFC South at this point. That might even clinch it. We'll do a playoff scenarios video at some point. But yeah, this might even be a clinch out. Like if they win and Atlanta loses and that's it, I think they maybe clinch this shit. So we'll see. I like Tampa's defense to kind of win this game for them and the Bucs offense to not lose it. The San Francisco 49ers take on the Washington Commanders. Commanders coming off a tough loss to the Jets, 30-28. 49ers coming off an embarrassing 33-19 loss to the Ravens. 49ers are favored by 13.5 with an over-under of 48.5. And I'm going to say that the Washington Commanders get killed in this game. Like, I'm guessing the 49ers win like 35-13. They're going to get revenge. They're probably pretty embarrassed, wanting to go out there and smoke somebody after what just happened to them against the Ravens. Bad line in Washington, bad offense. They're probably going to get feasted on by a very good Commander or 49ers defense that will want to reaffirm that we are that good. So give me that 49ers in a revenge game. Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Seattle Seahawks. 2-8-7 teams. The Seahawks are favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 41.5. The Steelers seemingly found life again. They won 34-11 against the Bengals, and the Seahawks squeaked it out against the Titans, 20-17. My biggest thing in this game is I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to note what the Titans did well on defense to hold the Seahawks to just 20 points. And I think because the Steelers have a much better defense than the Seahawks do, or than the Titans do, I think that they will be able to hold the Seahawks to a very low point total. Again, the Seahawks offense hasn't been very consistent this year. It's been, there's a lot of injured parts. I think it's the injuries that's been kind of holding their offense back, and just like they haven't gotten consistent playing time. Just something doesn't seem the same and I think that's what it is. It's the injuries, the inconsistent playing time. The offensive line doesn't feel as good, so it's just something isn't clicking right. And I think if you're playing a team like the Steelers that are basically, they have 8 wins because of their defense, you're really about to run into a problem. Like, they're going to be able to pass rush, put pressure on your offense, really frustrate you. Again, the Steelers do play the competition, and because you're an 8-7 team that's fighting for a playoff spot like them, they're going to come at this game just like they did against the Bengals. Very aggressive, very down your throat, very, very well coached, very into the game. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is the Steelers game to kind of lose. It's mainly, my thing is, like, it seems like even in the Seahawks wins this year, they're like struggling to beat teams like the Titans, which they shouldn't have struggled with. I know the Titans play teams like Seattle really good, like they always do, but like it seems like they could have done better. And like they barely pulled that one off. It's like they had to keep coming back to win. And again, I think if the Steelers can get out to any kind of lead with their defense, they can kind of stifle any comeback attempt. So I'm going to have to go with the Steelers over the Seahawks. I hope they don't let me down again. The Los Angeles Chargers take on the Denver Broncos. Broncos are 5.5-point favorites with an over-under of 38.5. Kind of hard to take a team after they lose to the Patriots. They're my favorite team, but it's tough to lose to the Patriots this year if you're a fan of the Broncos or any team, really. My team is not good, the Patriots. My team's the Patriots. Don't want to lose those ones. Anyway, Los Angeles Chargers take on the Broncos. Both teams coming off a loss. Denver needs a win to save their season. The Chargers probably are looking to lose games and just probably get a better draft pick, so that's taken into account. The Chargers really don't have the best offensive pieces right now. That's taken into account why I don't think they can win this. Denver's defense has been pretty good this year, been pretty solid as of late. They should be able to shut down the Chargers, whatever the hell they're throwing at them. It's in Denver. I like that for Denver. I don't know. Give me the Broncos 27-21. I ultimately don't think either of those two teams factor into the playoffs. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the Kansas City Chiefs in what was supposed to be a really good game. Now I don't think it will be. Chiefs are favored by 7 with an over-under of 44.5. Bengals, we just said, lost to the Steelers 34-11. The Chiefs got upset 20-14 to the Raiders. So I like the Chiefs to have a bounce-back game here. They're going to play their typical brand of football, put up about 20 to 28 points this year, somewhere in that range. Bengals defense isn't really anything to write home about this year. It's been pretty decent, has some bad games, has some good games, pretty good and decent, middle of the road. The problem for them is they see a lot of the field now, especially if like Jake Browning's going to have another bad game where he throws a bunch of picks and the Bengals offense is just dead in the water all game. I don't know if Jake Browning's been found out, but that could be a situation that's developing, and we're going to see that happen again versus a very good Chiefs defense this year. So I could see a good Chiefs defense shutting down this Bengals offense now that we kind of see what Browning's weaknesses are. I don't know. If Joe Burrow was playing, I would have probably gone Bengals, but unfortunately, we can't get what we want. All right, last game, Sunday Night Football. The Packers take on the Vikings in a kind of a snooze fest. The Vikings are favored by 1.5 with an over-under of 46.5. Both teams the Packers coming off a win 30-33. Or 33-30, and the Vikings beat the Lions 30-24, or lost to the Lions 30-24, and they lost their division, so that's funny. Basically, my thing here is I think the Vikings played very well against the Lions, but ultimately I think the thing that's going to doom them is the quarterback situation. I don't like Nick Mullins. I don't like anyone they really have as an option to start for them. I think the Packers defensively can take advantage of whoever that may be, play smart football, win the game that way. Again, it's hard to pick a team with a 4th-string quarterback. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm going to go with the Packers in that one. All right, we're running a little bit long here, so I'm going to start wrapping. Well, that's that. Week 17 down the drain, everybody. We've got it done. We've got it finished. It was a good video. It was a good week, I think. Hopefully this is a 16-0 week, but I'm guessing 13-3. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Those are the most important things. I'd like to see your picks record, your picks, who you got this week. Are my picks bad? Are they good? Just whatever you have on your mind. Could be completely unrelated to picks. Something stupid. I don't know. Either way, just let me know down in the comment section. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. And we're going to get out of here now because it's taking a minute. And let's see how we wrap this up. You know, there's all kinds of things out there. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, anyway, we're just gonna end the video then. All right, that's week 17. One more week to go on Pick'em. Very, very sad, but hey, such is life, I guess. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Have a good rest of the day, night, morning, mid-afternoon, mid-evening, dusk, dawn, twilight, nightlight, gas station, hot dogs. Go Patriots. Oh wait, hold on. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course it's always go Patriots, even if we stink right now. Have a good rest of the whenever you listen to this, and peace out. Have a good day. Stop.